In this video, let's explore how to create a very basic cluster and monitor messages that are being sent back and forth amongst various nodes in that cluster. So the first thing that we want to make sure that we do is in our application configuration file, make sure that our actor is referring to the correct provider. So in this case here, it's referring to akka.cluster cluster actor ref provider. And we're also setting up some remote settings here. We're making sure to turn off the log remote lifecycle events. And we're making a reference to Netty. And here's where we're setting up the host that we're going to use for our nodes. And we initially set this port to 0. Now, a little further on down in our configuration file is where we're creating the cluster. And then inside the cluster, we're specifying the seed nodes. And in this case here, we're going to set up a node at the host address and a port of 2555, as well as another one on the port 2556. And we could keep adding nodes here as we saw fit. Now, below this, we have our auto down unreachable after setting, and we've set that to 10 seconds. So if it cannot reach one of the nodes after 10 seconds in the cluster, then it'll turn itself down or off, if you will. And we've got a few more configuration settings in here, like turning off the metrics. We're also enabling the metrics extension in the Akka cluster metrics. So making sure that that points to the correct package here. And just a few more comments about the CGAR native library location that we'd use during testing. So we've set up our reference to the cluster actor provider, added some remote settings in here, and then actually created our cluster with the nodes inside of it, or cluster setting. Now, in our simple cluster app, we're making sure to import the config factory, and we use that a little further down. So we're creating an object called simple cluster app, and in my main method, we're saying that if args is empty, then we'll call startup. So start up that cluster with the node sequence of 255, 256, and 0. So 3 separate nodes in the cluster.